Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this tutorial we are going to draw an eagle eye, and it's the reflection in the eagle eye that makes it very, very spectacular to do. So I wish you all the luck already and all the fun. Here we are going to draw this magnificent eagle eye, and for this drawing I will be using colored pencils. These ones are from Koh-i-Noor, but any colored pencil will do, of course. And for the setup I will be using an HB graphite aquarelle, but standard graphite will do just as well. And for the highest whites, the reflection of the whites, I will be using this Pit Pastel coloring pencil if you want. But it is in fact a pastel, but it's very clear and white. The setup is quite simple. You head out with an oval, which is the actual eye, the edge of the eye, and around that I will be drawing in some few feathers, just to make sure that it's about an eagle eye, an animal eye if you like, and not a human eye. And the eagle eye has eyelids around them, how tiny ever, but I really need and I really want to draw those in. In the center of the eye there is the pupil, of course, and when drawing this in I already spare out the highlights, so I make sure that I have some space for the whites in the pupil. In the top of the eye itself we will be drawing the reflection of the area around the eagle. Here you can see the horizon, and you can see it's rounded as the eyeball is round. So in fact we are going to draw a sphere, and the eye itself will be kind of like a mirror that's reflecting the surroundings. Here I put in some few lines for the ground in the meadow, or maybe there is some crop growing, and just between the eyelid itself and the eye I draw in all kinds of bold lines. I draw in some more feathers, not too much. I want all the attention to go to the eye itself. And I make sure to place in the little eyelids around the eye, and as detailed as possible. I've looked at a lot of pictures on Google Images and in my books. I have beautiful books about birds, and I've tried to study as close as possible how the eye looks and how reflections work in an eye. The top of the eye will be the darkest, so I'm still using the 8B graphite, and I'm drawing in the darkest shadows that are in the top of the eye itself. Also the fence I draw in with this 8B, and the little shadows that are going down towards the end of the eye, the lower part. pupil itself, of course, is a black hole, if you want. So I'm carefully shading this in, and I go around the part that has to be spared out, where the whites will be reflected on the part of the pupil. Slowly but surely I'm building this blackness up. Layer for layer, I will make sure that I get the darkness that I want for the pupil. And there's a little area around the pupil that is also kind of dark. The edge between the eye and the eyelid, I make as sharp as possible. So it is very clear where the eye ends and where the bird starts, if you want. Here we go to the outer corner of the eye, and also here I put in some shadows and make it kind of wrinkly. And in the top of the eye there will be the darkest shadows. By placing those dark areas this way, it gives the eye a rounded effect. Here I'm placing in some kind of feathery like markings, and I will make sure not to do too much feathers, just a little bit of a suggestion of feathers, because I still want all the attention to go to the eye itself. This is the edge of the corner of the eye, and here some sturdy feathers that are peeking out. Well, this is about the way I want it. Here I will go in even darker. I go in as dark as I can without hurting the paper. Okay, now it's time for the pastel. It's a pastel pencil, and it's very great for the whitest of whites in the reflection of the eye. And I'm using, of course, grayish paper for this drawing. And when you are drawing in now with the white pastel, that really pops out. You can make this drawing on white paper also, but then you can still work with the white pastel for the effects, but it will not pop out as good. But this drawing is doable on white paper also. I also use that white in the eye itself, and as you can see now, there is a part. Yeah, it's kind of like a two-sided way of drawing. The top of the eye is the surrounding. So here I'm placing in blue for the sky. while the bottom of the eye is the eye itself. For now, I'm first drawing in the sky. I use the darker blue for the top of the eye. It's the way when you look up in the sky, and then the line of the horizon, there the sky is somewhat lighter, while when you are looking up, the sky will look darker blue. So I'm using this in this reflection of this eye. For the fence, I'm using a simple brown. Now it's time for the green. Maybe it's a meadow or, well, some kind of a grassland, and I have to draw in this landscape. So I'm simply using the blue and the green to suggest that there's a scenery going on. With a white color pencil, so this is not a pastel pencil, it's a simple white, you can ease off the green a little bit. Now it's time for the bottom part of the eye, and this is where I'm actually drawing in the color of the iris. So here there's no reflection going on, but I'm actually drawing in the structure of the iris itself, of the actual eye. So only the top half is used for the reflection, like you are drawing a sphere. And the bottom part is for the eye itself, like how it really looks. Here I'm using an orange, and now you can see that there's a big difference between the lower part and the upper part of the eye. You get that crazy way of reflection now of the colors of the iris and the little muscles that are in the iris, and the top part where you can actually see the sky and the fence and the meadow or the grassland or whatever. I'm taking the yellow again, and I draw in a little bit of color also into the feathers, just to make it a whole, that the eye works together with the feathers a little bit. But I still do not pay much attention to the feathers. I want all the attention to go to the eyeball itself. And with a little bit of pink, you can get that flashy effect just around the eye. Just a few lines will be sufficient. And here we come to the last stadium of the drawing. I'm using the black from my color box, so the black color pencil, and then I simply add the last details and the darkest shadows that are inside of the eye. I want that fence to pop out a little bit more. Well, it's quite the way I want it. The pupil cannot be as black and enough. It has to be really, really black. And then, well, I think it's good for now. So, I hope you enjoyed this study. And of course, I hope to see you again in one of my other drawings. Hope to see you next time. And always, take care. Bye bye.